Hello and welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop Streamed, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. And today I am playing through Bullet. And there have been several versions of Bullet. The one that's out for everybody right now is Bullet with a heart after it. But there is another version of Bullet out there, and that is Bullet with the oranges. And today I'm kind of combining them. This is the expansion along with the base game. So I'm using a hero from the base game, and I'm using a villain from the expansion. And what you'll note about this game is the game varies in what goes on, complexity certainly, but also like each hero is very different and each boss is very different, and so the combination of the two makes the game really cool. This game is a head-to-head battler at its core, but it has a great solo mode and co-op mode in it as well, and that's what we're playing today. So they built that in. It is not like a throw-on. It is definitely a good part of what's in there, and honestly, I don't play the competitive game. I just play the cooperative game and solo game. So why did I choose to do this? Well, we are reviewing this one this week, so listen in on the podcast on Sunday. You'll hear us do a full review of it, and let me explain what's going on here and how you beat the solo version of the game. So the way the game works is you are trying to defeat the boss. To do that, you have to remove all of their life. And this boss is a little different because this boss actually has 3 forms. So we at random rolled a dice at the beginning to determine which form, and we did her second form, which is the Hyper Sword form. But every time we defeat one of these life over here, they are going to change. She's going to change forms to a different one at random. So she has 3 different forms, and we're going to have to deal with all of them. So you'll see her changing it up as the game goes on. But when you clear a 4 bullet, put it in the center instead. I'll explain what that means in a minute, but basically 4 bullets won't hurt her. So we're trying to defeat her by getting rid of all of her life before she defeats us. We only have 3 life on the other hand. And whenever bullets that she's shooting at us go to the bottom here, they are going to clear over and come over here. There's other ways that bullets can get there as well, but how do bullets get on the board? You're going to draw a bullet, you're going to put it in the appropriate column, and yes, this is pink, even though it's purple in the column. You could see the symbol kind of matches as well, but you're going to be drawing tokens or bullets from the bag, and you're going to be placing them on the board wherever they go. Now, I'm hoping to get one that is the same column here as one that I've already had, but hey, not a bad distribution. Okay, so this does not go on top of this other bullet. It goes in the first clear space in that column. Let's do one more. Okay, this one would go in the first space. Let's see if I can get... All right, there's another one. So again, it goes in the first clear space. Now, if I drew a 4 blue, it would go here and go right into my life, and that's how I would take a damage. So that is part of how Bullet goes. You start the game with 10 bullets in your bag. Throughout the game, it is going to accelerate after each round, and it's going to increase by the number here, which will change as the villain gets hurt. That number is going to change. So, but right now we are just going to do 7 a turn. And her big thing is when you clear a 4 bullet. So basically you're going to be clearing bullets from here. So let's say I got rid of this. Normally that would be damage done to the enemy. But what this one says is when you clear a 4 bullet, instead of going here, it actually goes back in the center bag. So no damage gets done with that bullet. Now let's say I had drawn these bullets in the opposite order. I drew the 1 first and then the 4. This would not go down to this 4th spot as you would expect. It goes 4 blank spots down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It would work the same way in this green column. 1, 2, you skip this space, 3, 4. So as you get more and more bullets, it becomes more and more dangerous because those 4s can go right down to the bottom. All right, so that is the basics of the game as far as how we win and lose, but what are you doing on your turn? Well, every character is completely different. There are 8 characters in the base game, and there are 4 characters in the expansion. Here are the expansion characters. For this one, we just hit a number on the board. It changes between the different characters. They're all female, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that they are promoting women in gaming. I like that. And so what you're doing, and all the villains as well. So what you're doing is, again, you're trying to make these patterns here. So to make this pattern, I would need... So these circles just mean any bullet, doesn't matter. Any bullet at all. So if this was here, I have that pattern. Then what would it do? If you look on the bottom, it clears the 3 spots under. So these 3 spots would get cleared. Now what clearing means in the competitive game, or the cooperative game, is you send the bullets to the boss. When you have sent a number of bullets equal to whatever their life value is on the current heart you're working for. It's the same for all of these. So it says 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 is solo, 10 is 2-player, 15 is 3-player, and 20 is 4-player. So we just need to do 5 to get rid of each of these life spots. Once we've sent 5 bullets or more at her, then we remove a life. You can remove multiple life in a round, so you could remove 2 if you had 10 in the middle. The catch is if you have 9 in the middle, then or any more than 5, if you clear a heart, I think they're called shields actually. If you clear a shield, then you discard all the tokens in the middle. So even if you had 9, one less than the 10 you need to remove 2, then you still only remove 1. And you would lose all of those bullets you sent to the middle. So certainly getting rid of a certain number of stuff is kind of important. All right, so let's talk about let's talk about the boss. So Sonya has 3 boss UAs, so that means this changes. What her attitude is, whatever is going to change, and so what her special ability on the bottom and what all of her stuff is. When you break shields, certain things will happen too. Not only do we accelerate, although this time it goes from 7 to 7, but you're going to swap UAs for her. As she gets further down, you might lose 2 action points on the next turn, and I'll explain what action points are, or all 4 bullets hit you at the bottom here. So she's going to accelerate as she goes down as well. So not only are you trying to complete your patterns, but at the end of the round, you have to have her pattern completed as well, or you suffer whatever consequences on the bottom. So here it says you have to have a 1 with any other 1 below it, and then 2 blank spots. Well, we actually have that right here. 1, a disc below it, and 2 blank spots to the right of it. So we've actually completed her pattern. Now, it's not good enough to have it now. We have to have it at the end of the round as well. So if we don't do that, Sora cannot have more than 1 shield broken this round. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world, because that just means we can't get 10, but we probably wouldn't get more than 1 this round anyway, so I'm not that worried. Sometimes these are negative effects, like it'll do things like move all your bullets left 1 space or down 1 space, or move them all down 2 spaces or something along those lines. Here it's not that big of a deal. It just does, it just stops me from breaking more than 1 shield, which could be annoying later, because if you don't get that pattern, it's usually because you've gotten a lot of your own patterns. And so that means you're less likely to be able to get her pattern if that's the case. All right, so what do I do on my turn, and what's special about my character? Well, if you look on the lower left, Sacred Shapes Teachings is Ikulu's special ability. You have 3 life, 6 AP. So most characters have 4 life and 7 AP, but again, every character is different, and 9 patterns. 3 bullets in your sight are all numbers. So that means this 3 right here and this 3 right here, whether it has a star or not, and I'll explain the difference later. If it has a star or not doesn't matter. Those count as any number. Now they still count as the color, so this could count as the 1 for this pattern up here. Because it's a 3, it counts as any number that I want it to. Now if you look at this pattern here, I actually almost have this pattern as well. So, this 1 is up here. But if you look at this pattern, it says I have to have 1 at the top, then 2 spaces down I have to have 1, and then 2 over. So if this was here, then I would have that pattern set up. It doesn't say that you can't have spaces. So there's a difference between the blank circles, which means you can't have a disk there, and just not having anything in that disk. And then this last one here, and again, you just blow up the spaces under, so you don't lose these discs. You only lose discs in the spaces with this. So having this pattern isn't good enough. If I had this pattern right now, I could complete this card, but it wouldn't do me any good because it would destroy these 3 spaces. Well, if I had discs there, they would get sent to the boss and work on defeating her. But right now, it wouldn't do anything anyway. So clearing these patterns isn't important if there isn't something useful at the bottom of it. Now, that being said, this is almost something pretty good. If I can move this down 1, this down 2, I think I've got this pattern. Oh no, then I'd have to move this one over a 1 as well, and I'd clear 3. So that might be worth doing. I may look into doing that. But let's look at what do I do on my turn. So we see how bullets fly at us. What do we do on our turn? So I have 6 action points, and here it tells me the 3 things I can do. For 1 action point, which is the cost in the upper left, I can move a bullet left, right, or down 1 space. So this would cost me 1 action point. 2 action points. Alrighty, for 1 action point, I can discard a pattern and draw a new pattern. So if I don't like any of these patterns, I could just discard it and get a new one from my pile. And for the third one, I can put a bullet from the center, so that means here, out of play area, to any empty space in your sight. That is pretty good. Really good, in fact. I mean, yes, you are adding more bullets, but you're also adding bullets that you can then send to the boss. So that seems like a pretty good thing to do at some points as well. All right, so that is the basics of what we do on our turn, is do these action points. Now I can draw these at any point, but now I'm in a little bit of danger, because right here, if I draw a 4 blue, this will go right into my life, and I only have 3 life. You have when you use a third pattern in a round, clear all 3 bullets in your sight. So let's go ahead and start working on trying to send some bullets our way. All right, I want to do this pattern. This one looks like the most likely to get completed here early. I guess I could also do this one, but that one seems easier to do than this one. So what I'm going to do for 1 action point, I'm going to move that down, move that one over. Then I am going to, oh no, because that one's not there. All right, I don't want to do that. What I could do is I could move this down 2 spaces. So that would get me there. So that would be 2 action points. So I'm going to do that. For 2 action points, I'm going to move that down 2 spaces. So now I've got this going on, and all I need is 1 here. I'm going to spend 1 action point to draw, excuse me. Actually, you know what? No. For 2 action points, I'm going to move this one here. And then I'm going to draw a random one that I can send at her, because I'm hoping for a star, which I got. And let me explain why. All right, so now if you look, I've got this pattern exactly. I've got these 2 on the bottom with these 3 in the middle and this one up top here. So now I complete this pattern and I send these 3 bullets to the boss. Now, whenever I send a star, so what's the difference between the stars and non-stars? Whenever I spend a star over, I read this and do what this says. This says gain an action point. So I actually sent 3 over, so that's 3 towards the 5 I need to defeat, or, take away a shield, and they're all stars, so I actually get 1, 2, 3 action points right back for doing so. All right, I'm going to keep drawing from the bag, because now I'm safe on that blue column. Let's keep going. There's 1 over here, and a 1 over here. All right, let's see if I can make some more patterns, because if I could send 3 more, then I will break one of her shields, and that seems like it'll be pretty good. Oh, yes, and just as a reminder, whenever I clear a 4 bullet, I put it to the center instead. So if I get rid of this 4 bullet as an example, it would go back to the bag. It would not go to damaging her. All right, so let's see. I think this one should be pretty easy to do. Well, it's easy to do the pattern, but then I'm not going to score anything for it currently. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do this one here. So for 1 action point, I can move that down. So that costs 1. For 2 action points, I can move that here. 1, 2. For 1 action point, I can move this over. For 1 action point, remember, I can draw one from the center bag and put it here. All right, and this is perfect. So if you notice, I have this pattern, 1, 2, 3, with these 3 on the bottom. Oh, by the way, remember, if I clear all 3 of my patterns each round, then I get to clear all 3 numbered bullets from my board as well, which seems pretty good. I've got 2 of them, but I'm about to clear them anyway. All right, so I do this pattern right here. I clear these bullets, but remember, any 4s I clear are put in the center instead. Now, this does still have a star, so I am going to get an action point back for it. Let's do that. Let's shuffle up the bag so I don't end up with it on top again. But then I clear these 2 as well. So now I have cleared 5 bullets, which is enough to break her first shield. But we're not to that point of the turn yet. I still have tokens in the bag. I don't. I still do have 2 action points, though. So let's go ahead and clear this pattern. So I could try to complete this pattern just to clear all 3s from my board, but again, I don't have any 3s on my board. I do have her pattern, but again, it doesn't really matter because hers just say you can't have more than 1 shield broken this round. Well, that doesn't matter at all because I'm only breaking 1 shield anyway. So I don't really need her pattern, although I do have it. So yeah, I think, what do I do with the next 2? I'm going to go ahead and start setting up for this for the next round. So in order to get this pattern, I would like this one here. So that'll be one action point. And I'm going to put this one down here for another action point. So now if I get a green 2, I have this and it's good to go and good to be destroyed on the next round. So that's what you can do if you have extra action points at the end of the round. You can go ahead and work on your next pattern. All right, so let's talk about what you do on your turn. Now there's a lot in the action phase, end phase, cleanup, and boss round. Most of that we're skipping. So in the action phase, you place bullets, you use your actions, you use patterns, and you use power-ups. We don't have power-ups because that's for the competitive game. For the end phase, you take your power-ups. We don't take power-ups in cooperative. You drop to your hand size, so that's important. So we go ahead and draw 2 more cards. Everybody has a 3 hand size unless they tell you differently. And then put intensity bullets from the center to the current. Again, we don't have any of those. In the following order, for the cleanup phase, put new power-ups. Nope. Increase intensity by 1. Nope. Put bullets from your incoming to your current. Nope. Set AP back to max. So that's the only thing we do there. So literally in the co-op and solo game, the only things we do in end phase are drop to our hand size. All we do in cleanup is put our action points back up to the max. So we do this boss round though, which you wouldn't do in competitive, obviously. So boss activates their pattern effect. So they see if they get their if you have their pattern. I do not anymore. I actually broke up that pattern, but again, my only penalty is you can't have more than 1 shield broken this round. Again, not a problem. I only broke 1 shield anyway. All right. So that is one thing that happens. All right, let's go to, so we activated the boss pattern. The next thing we do is the boss checks to see if their shield is broken. Well, I do have 5 tokens here, and let's look. 5 is what they need to break this shield. So yep, we broke this shield. And underneath, then we activate Heroine's Draw Intensity and okay. So, but as soon as we break that shield, we do this. Swap Sora's UA at random. So again, remember she has 3, so I'm just going to roll 50-50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see which one we get. We are going to get the higher one. All right, so unfortunately in the mod, this would probably be easier in real life because you wouldn't have to take all these off, but that's all right. You know, we're used to, as TTS players, dealing with stuff. And actually the interesting part is the right part doesn't change. So yes, this would be much easier in real life. So let's see what her new hyper beam does. When you don't complete her pattern, put 3 bullets from the center to your current. All right, so now we got to worry about, actually, let me see something real quick. So if I hit 3, actually that does work. I don't have to take these off and on. When you clear a 4 bullet, put it in the center. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. So now 4s will still hit her. But when you don't complete her pattern, put 3 bullets from the center into your current. So you put them from the center into here, which is not good. All right, so let's flip these over and we will put them in the center bag and we will shuffle this up. And we're looking at her pattern or her thing. Oh, we do need to draw a new pattern for her, so it'll be different this round. So we want to complete this, or we're going to have to add 3 bullets to our current. Yeah, which is not good. Our bag over here. So, but for now, we shuffled them up, and we need to draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. There's 7, and we do it all over again. And we keep doing this until we defeat her or she defeats us. So let's keep going. Do I have my pattern? No, not yet. So let's see what I draw. For 1, I can do it. All right, so I'm going to spend 1 action point, and I'm going to go ahead and complete this pattern while I have it. Why not? Let's do it. These 3 are getting sent at Sora. All right. So let's keep drawing. Just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. Am I getting close to any patterns? Maybe something with this one in my future. We'll see. We'll see how this all ends up working out. All right, so again, you skip the yellow 1, go down 2 blank spaces, blue 4. So there we go. 2 more, blue 3, and a red 1. All right. What am I looking like over here? All right, this one is going to be kind of difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that we need, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 row down. So that would be this row. They want them on the outside. And then 3 between. I mean, I could get that for 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 to put that in the middle. But then I still don't have this, so I need to spend 6, which I don't even have 6. So that's not an option. All right, so let's look for another option. We could do 1, 2, move these two over, and then get this here. We can either move that there, which would be fine, or add 1 from the bag. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do this pattern. So 1, 2, 1, 2 action points. So that's these 3 will get destroyed, and then I need these 2 and 1 more. So my option is to draw 1 from the bag for 1 action point, or I just move this 3 over here. I think I'm going to move the 3 over. Oh, and what's the negative of not doing this? Sora cannot have more than 1 shield to... yeah, again, it doesn't matter. This is the more important one. When you don't complete your pattern, put 3 bullets from the center to your current. So we get 3 extra. If we can't make that pattern, but to be honest, we have it right here. Oh, but I'm about to blow it up. Huh. So this is something to think about. Because I don't have to blow it up right now. In fact, I could just blow it up as my first action next turn. And these will just sit here. The negative of that is then next turn, I'm going to want to do at least... I mean, I got to do it, right? I don't want to intensify by 3 extra ones. And none of these have stars, so clearing them isn't going to get me any action points back. So right now, I think I am going to go with just moving this one down for 1 action point. And I've got this ready to go first thing, even before I draw any tokens out next turn. All right, so we're going to go much more quickly now. Let's redraw our hand size up. Let's set our action points to the maximum. And we don't break any shields. She gets a new pattern card. And, oh, we had completed her pattern. You can see it right here. In these 6 spaces, we did her pattern, so nothing changes. And now we got to have this at the end of this turn. And again, you can't break more than 1 shield if you don't do it. But we're going to try to get this, and we're going to try to break more than 1 shield, I think. Oh, man, not this pattern again. That looks eerily similar to the other pattern we had, if not identical. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and start with this pattern. Oh, wait. First, I got to draw my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the bag. All right, first things first, I'm going to complete this pattern. So I'm going to send 3 more at her to the middle. Puts her up to 6. And then I'm going to start drawing tokens. Oh, so 4 yellow. Oops, this is the yellow column. Oh, perfect, actually. That's getting me toward this one over here. And in fact, I may go ahead and complete that. Well, no rows are in danger. You need 3 in a row for that row to be in danger. But I did complete this one, so let's get rid of this. So no rows are in danger right now, so I'm going to draw first. All right, now blue is in danger, so I'll go ahead and do it. For 1 action point, I'm going to go ahead and draw 1 from the bag and put it here. For another action point, I'm going to move this here. Oh no, all these need to be down 1 row? Is that right? Well, if that's the case, I'm not doing that. That seems terrible. Hold on. Every day I'm shuffling. Yeah, because there's got to be 4 in between them. Yeah, these all have to be on the bottom row here. Oh, that is absolutely brutal. All right, well, let's see if I can get this one here. So I need to get something here and these 2 full. All right, so we'll do that. We'll go ahead and draw 1, 2 for 2 action points. I don't know what I spent an action point on. I think I undid that. So that's 2 action points. And then we're going to spend, I guess, 2 more to move this 1 down. Now this isn't doing a whole lot for me, to be honest. But we'll see. Maybe I can make it work. So there's 2 more to move that. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spend 1 more to draw another one from the bag. Yes, I know. I'm making the game worse for myself by doing that. But so I spent 3 for 1, 2, 3. And these were all here. All right. So I clearly have this pattern here, which gets rid of these 3. One of them is a star. 1, 2, 3. So I do get 1 action point back. All right. I'm going to try to complete this pattern. And even if I get 1, then that'll be enough to break 2. Although, wait a minute, then I still have to have this pattern, which I can get if I move these 2 here. Problem is, I'm just not going to have enough to do everything. Because I can do this. 1 here for 1 action point. And then I need 1 here and 1 here. That's 2 more action points, and then I need 1 more. All right, so you know what? I'm going to gamble here. I'm going to spend 1 here to do this. I'm just going to hope to get a star here. Because if not, we're going to intensify by 3 more. All right, I'm going to spend 1 to draw 1 from the bag to put down here. Yes, I know I could just move 1 down, but I'm looking for a star and I got it. Yes. All right, that gets me an action point back. That is awesome. And then I'm going to spend 1 more to put this one here. All right, so now I've got this pattern right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 blank, and then this row gets cleared. So I have this pattern. Did I clear this one? I did clear this one. So that completed that. And now I am at the same time going to complete this one. So I complete this pattern right here. I only had 1, but that's all I needed to get to 10. And in fact, now that I cleared all 3, I clear all 3s from my board as well. So these 2 are going to get cleared as well. That is my special power, Sacred Shapes Teachings. When you use your 3rd pattern in a round, clear all 3 bullets in your sight. So there you go. That is the 3 cleared. That was sweet. That worked out. Yes. Love it when a plan comes together. All right. So that cleared all those patterns. Now I do need to, one of them was a star. That 2 I got was a star. That's why I got so excited. Oh, but I was going to move, no. I'm going to move this 1 over. Boom. For 1 action point. Now I have that pattern in there and I completed it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 patterns, and so that will get me to clear 2 of these. But let's do it in order. First things first, draw your 3 things for the next turn. Oh my gosh. So now it wants special numbers, but remember, or specific numbers, but remember my, and actually this shape I've already got right here, kind of. I can just add 2 bullets and send them right away. But remember, I can use 3s as any number, although I just cleared all my 3s, so that's not necessarily the best. All right, so the next thing, I get all my action points back. Then we look at the boss's pattern and evaluate that. We definitely did that. Check for shields broken, and we did break 2 shields. So we break 1 shield, we break 2 shields. So now we're going to be drawing 9 a turn, and Sora gains all her UAs. So I have to know what all of hers are. All right, well, that would be way easier to do if these were actual boards. Let's see. I doubt they did this. No. All right. So she gets all of her special powers. So one of them is when you don't complete her pattern. So I'm going to write these down. So don't complete. Then put 3s from center to current. All right, let's remind ourselves what this one was. When you clear a 4 bullet, put it to the center instead. So 4s to center. And let's see what her last form gives you. So yeah, she's ramping up in major ways here. Sora has 3. Okay, we got that. When you don't complete Sora's pattern, put 1 bullet from her incoming into the center. So you would take one of these. Now at this point we had 12, so that wouldn't matter at all. But yeah, I don't need to write that one down because we're going to stay on this form. All right, so we want to complete her pattern for 2 reasons now. First of all, because if we don't complete her pattern, then we get 3 additional tokens next turn, which in the last round of the game doesn't matter as much. But the other major reason at this point is this hyper bazooka here, which means we'd have to lose 1 from the center. So if we hit her for another 2-hit shot, that will be the end of the game and we will have defeated her. Let's see what happens though when we clear these shields. You immediately lose 2 action points for the next round, so I'd go down to 4 for the next round, which isn't great, and all 4 bullets hit you, which means all 3 of these 4 bullets would hit me, and I would be defeated at the same time as her, and I don't remember how that works. If anybody out in the chat knows, let me know. But yeah, if I took all 3 of these 4s at the same time, what would that mean? Good question. But I will figure that out if we need to figure it out. All right, so I have this pattern here already. 1, 2, 1. So if I can get these spots full, that'll be really good for whatever we got to do. But Intensity's higher now. I need to draw 9. 1. Oh, wait. Did I shuffle those? Let's shuffle them up just to be safe. And then, oops. Then I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think I drew 9. That's, oh, that was 9. That worked out. All right. Yep. And then this is her new pattern. So I need a 3 in the middle, which if I clear all these, I clear all my 3s. So I can't do that. So I need 3 up and down with a 3 in the middle, which is not great because I don't even have a 3 on the board right now. So that's 2. Oh, wait. Whoops. Drew from the wrong place. That's all right. We'll count that, and I'll just put this top one back in their bag. Done and done. All right. Let's keep going. So that's a 3 pink. That is a 1 blue. That's good. That's looking nice for this pattern over here. Let's flip this one. 3 pink. All right. That one's going to go there. All right. So blue's in a little danger. I'm a little scared of blue, so I'm going to go ahead and try to complete this pattern now while I've mostly got it. So I do need 1 bullet here, so I'm just going to spend 1 action point to go ahead and draw from the bag and put it there. All right, and then I'm going to clear this pattern. Now, I didn't need to do that, right? There's no requirement for something to be there. If there was a requirement, it would look like a circle with a POW inside of it. That means it's required to be there and you'd clear it. But those spots aren't required, but I still want to send as many bullets over as possible because maybe the next pattern I have, I can't get them all. All right, so we need a 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to spend 1 action point to move this over here because I got the 1 and the 2. And now all I need is a 3 over here. Now it is not easy to get a 3 this high up. So maybe what I'm going to have to do is like move that there and then this over to here. So with that being said, maybe I don't move that. Nah, I'm going to move it over. Whatever. Oh, no, I'm not. Because actually this pattern here requires me not to have that there. So, you know what? I'm going to spend 1 action point to move this here. I'm going to spend 1 action point to draw from the bag and put it here. And then I can clear these 2. I don't need a 3rd one. It would cost me an action point. The best case scenario, I get the action point back. I don't think it's worth it. So, and remember, all 4s cleared wouldn't go to her. And I've still got to get this pattern here. So we're going to go with just that for now. And now I'm going to keep drawing from my bag. I got 6 more to go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, red's getting kind of hairy. Oh, wait. So first of all, cleared this pattern, and I cleared this pattern this turn. Now I can still clear this one just to get rid of some discs. And remember, 3s count as wilds for me. So right now, kind of close to getting this, but not really. So there's a 2, 3. If that was a 1, that would work. So I can move this one over and then move this one to there, but that would be that would be more than the number of action points I have. All right, I'm just going to have to keep drawing from the bag and hoping to get lucky, which currently I have. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah. The good news is I got this pattern. The bad news is basically, unless I get a green or a yellow, I'm in trouble with whatever this draw is. And I get a yellow. Sweet. All right. Well, I mean, certainly not going to complain, right? So that worked out pretty perfectly. Although, I still have 2 things to do. All right. So I've got the pattern. I don't want to mess these 3 up. I guess I kind of want to work on getting to this for next turn. All right, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I can bring this 1 down, and then I'll just need to bring this 3 over, and I'll get that cleared for next turn. So that's good. So I've got this getting ready to be cleared for next turn, which means I'll only need 1 more to do it. Of course, surviving is going to be the other part of this, and remember, all these 4s are going to get sent to me. So I'm really going to need to work to get rid of those 4s somehow. That's almost more important than anything else I worry. Well, I mean, yeah, because if I take all 3 4s, then I would be not alive anymore. So that would be bad. All right, but let's go ahead and redraw my patterns. Now I am out of patterns, so what do? I shuffle them up, and I draw new ones from the ones we've already done before. Oh, well, this will be easier now, although, oh, that'll get those 4s out of the way, which will be very nice. That makes me happy, in fact. Although I need the 1 there, and I need the 1 there, so that doesn't make me happy. We'll see how I can get that done, or if I can get that done is really more of the, I guess I can move this 1 to here and this 1 down, although I'm not going to have very many action points for the following turn because when I break the shield, well, we'll see in a minute. All right, so I did my pattern. I get all my action points back, right? And then we go ahead and do the bosses stuff. I did complete their pattern, so that's good. Got that going for me. So we don't add extra stuff to this. Now we see if we broke their shield. Now remember, again, we only need 5. We've got 5 here. Oops. That is not what I wanted. And I don't even know what is under that. I don't know what I hid under there. What is that? Now I'm curious. Oh, it's a different boss's pattern cards. I was thinking about doing a different boss, but I didn't really understand the boss. So I needed some clarification. So, all right. So that does break another shield. 1 more shield and I win. So I lose 2 action points. Boink, boink. Not great. Ooh, interesting. What's this game about, says Level 99 Games. Let me tell you. There's an interesting story of the universe that I'm sure you're aware of. In the beginning, there was time. So let's go over the theme. In the beginning, there was time, so that the universe might have a future. Then Whimsy came and filled the universe with substance, mostly rocks, like way too many rocks. No one could move. Balance cleaned up a lot of the rocks so that the universe had less rocks. Then Whimsy made bigger rocks. That balance also cleaned up. This continued for a while the rocks were really big and Whimsy got tired of the whole making bigger rocks thing. She started making life, mostly cats. Force allowed the cats to move so that they could eat, and the universe Force allowed the cats to move so that they could eat, and the universe wouldn't be full of dead cats. Memory remembered all of the cats' names so that the universe wouldn't have too many cats with the same name. Eventually, gravity showed up to keep the universe together, because the universe without a universe isn't much of a universe, is it? Finally, Whimsy made existence so that your universe mattered. That is a brief history of the universe, Level 99 Games. Level 99 Games, yes, you can answer those questions. Sure, go ahead and tell us. I mean, the theme I said is a battler, a head-to-head battling game typically, but we are obviously playing the solo game today. But yeah, no, what is your theme interpretation? Because I know you have a little bit at the beginning of the rule book here. Oh, you said you had you were going to answer my questions. I think about the boss also. So I'll ask you that in a minute. So this is a tense, fast-paced puzzle game for 1 to 4 players. Take on the role of heroines to settle their disputes with each other through excessive firepower. Use actions to form patterns. Clear your sight and assault the opponent. Keep dealing with the curtain of bullets coming at you each round until the last heroine standing wins. And so that's what we're doing. We're battling. So it's a battler. So yeah, the question I had was about this boss here. So it says every time you defeat one of their patterns, you discard a pattern. Now I know for one of the bosses in the past, you started with all their patterns face up. Is it supposed to be that way for Red Barrel as well? Because it doesn't say that here. So I didn't understand what the you discard a pattern thing means. Oh, does that mean you discard one of your patterns? I would guess. Never mind. I answered my own question. So, the rules questions? Really not a rules questions. Yes, had I read more carefully, I would not have had rules questions. So yes, whenever you defeat one of that boss's patterns, I could have played that one then. All right, well, that's all right. I wanted to play this one. Sora's a little bit more complicated, but having a lot of fun with her. Yeah, actually, that boss would have been a lot easier to show. But I'm glad you guys are seeing the variety in the bosses here, because I think that is one of the important and coolest things about the game. By the way, I was telling earlier that we have a podcast coming out this Sunday about Bullet itself, where Mike and I review it. So, and we have some pretty good things to say about it. So if you want to listen in, One Stop Co-op Shop podcast, The link will be in the show notes for the podcast as well. We come out every Sunday and most Wednesdays as well. Level 99 says, when it says discard a pattern, it means you, the player, discards a pattern. Yep. I figured that out with actually reading instead of like trying to rush through it, which I did earlier. I was so confused about like, why would the boss discard a pattern? But it says you. It's very clear. I am the one who was, I was thinking back to the other boss, so it kind of threw me off. All right, so I lost 2 action points for this round, but I only need 5 to get rid of this. The thing I'm most worried about here are these 4s at the bottom here, but I have a plan for that with this pattern right here. So I think we can do it. I'm just not sure we have enough action points. Let's see. I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 action points. And you know what I don't have? Anywhere near 6 action points. Not only that, but we have to draw 10 bullets out as well. So I think I might have been a little too happy there at the beginning. Oops, that's 11. Actually, you know what? I think I shuffled beforehand, but now I got confused. Let me go back and shuffle, just in case. By the way, this is the official bullet mod, right from Level 99 Games. Thanks for making such a great mod. It is very easy to use. Anybody who knows TTS even a little bit should have no trouble at all with it. So I do have the physical game as well. So actually, you guys sent us a review copy, so thanks Level 99 Games. We appreciate that. That is not why we're playing it, though. We don't play games, trust me. We get lots of review copies. We don't play games we don't like here. So this is one that keeps hitting the table. So that's a good thing, for sure. All right, so I got to deal with these 10 bullets. I got to deal with this, where I got to get 5 more sent to her without dying myself. So let's see. Do I have this pattern? Maybe that. Okay. So I almost have this one. And I almost have that other one. Okay, so that might be an easier way to do it. So actually, Level 99, I have another question for you, but let's see what you said. Oh, hype. Tag us when it comes out so we can share it with our social media too. Sure will. Yes, we are excited to review. We're just reviewing the Heart version. We do mention the Orange a little bit, only because obviously we played it on TTS because of your generosity in putting it out so anybody can try it. So yeah, we're excited. We have a cooperative play on this channel as well from earlier on when the Kickstarter was going on. We did a cooperative play, but Mike and I definitely enjoy this one quite a bit. Oh, sorry. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see what our last pattern is, because that's the other thing. We got to complete this pattern. Now, if we don't, all right, so 4s sent to the center go away. So that's another thing to consider when we're talking about putting these 4s in. That's not necessarily a great thing, because then they're potentially going to go, then they're going to go away. So got to think about all of this when thinking about what patterns to do. But I think we're definitely able to do this one pretty easily, I think. Although I need another one here, and then this one here. And if I do that, I have the 1, 2, 3 also, but then again, that's not as helpful. I need stars. Why don't I have stars? If I clear all the patterns, I can get rid of all the... Oh, and 3s can count as any number. I got to remember that, although there aren't too many number obligations here. So I'm kind of okay with that. But yeah, having to complete this pattern. So if I don't complete this pattern, then I got to add more to my next round. But it doesn't matter if I win this round. But the other thing is I take 1 from her incoming and put it to the center. So then I'd have to do 6 bullets of damage if I don't complete their pattern. That's not the worst thing I'm worried about here. There's about 50 other things that I'm worried about right now. That is the least of them. I'm just going to complete as much as I can. All right, I'm going to spend 1 action. Oops. To move that. 1 action to move this. Yeah, they were saying, Level 99 saying, I do have a lot of 3s, so if I play my cards right, I could get rid of a bunch at once. That's true. So I got this pattern here, 1, 2, 3, with this. So and sorry if there's a lag or something else going on right now. I'm having a little, there we go. All right. Oops. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. All right. So that's 3. So I completed this pattern. This one, it's not too far off. I just need 1 here and 1 here. And with as many things as coming out, that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. So let's see. Let's just start drawing bullets, I guess. Oh, that's a bad one. All right. So that one goes right in. Gosh, and pink is such a dangerous row as well. Well, you know what? At some point, these are going to have to come out. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, there's that. All right, so that's one that'll get cleared. If I can get a 1 up here, that would be good. There's a 1 pink, which is not great. I should have moved that one already. Let's see if I move this one. Those are my last 2 moves. I got to move it, though, because pink is so dangerous. So I'm going to spend my last 2 to do this and kind of hope things fall into place. And we'll see what happens here. Green 1, of course, right after I move it. So, see, terrible decision by me to do that. Nope, don't have that pattern. Pink 1, okay, well, again, that pink row was dangerous. I'm hoping to get some stuff down here, but boy, that is really asking for a lot. All right, if I could move that one over. Oops, not from there, from here. Hold on, you go away. You go away. I hope I didn't draw any from there, but that's all right. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't have any action points, so I don't really have a choice unless I can complete a pattern here. Let's see. I might be able to complete this one. Let's see. I got that here. With this, I need 1 right here. I need this. I've got this pattern, but that's only going to clear this one right now. So I'm just going to keep drawing and keep hoping. Okay, that did not work out. That did not work out as well, so that's a loss. Oh, no! I did it to myself. I really did. Drawing extra bullets. I mean, this is such a tempting special ability to draw bullets to complete your patterns to like get rid of her quickly, but then you just put yourself in such a danger zone, and losing 2 action points when you only have 6 was pretty rough. But this game's a lot of fun. Definitely been enjoying it. But, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. You know what? This is a quick one. I'm going to go ahead and run it back. I'm going to show you a different boss and a different character. I'm going to show you the boss that we were just talking about. Let's go over Red Barrel real quick. Thank you. Thank you. It was a good game. It was close. It was very, very close. That happens sometimes, though. You know, with any good game, right? I mean, that's the thing with co-op and solo, and we talked about this in our design discussion about input randomness versus output randomness. That was just our design discussion, also on this week's podcast. And the thing is, there's so much tension that comes with input randomness that, or output randomness, that it's worth it a lot of times to have it in there. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you a different hero as well. Let's see. Which hero do we want to see? You know what? I'm going to use... I'm going to use... This one's quite a bit different. So I'm going to use Mariel real quickly. During setup, put Mariel marker into play on any space in your sight. Mariel counts as a bullet with no color or number. When Mariel would be removed from your sight, put her in any empty space instead. So I am actually in the pattern here. So I get to do that after I draw my pattern. So let's go ahead and... Gonna get rid of these patterns, and let's go ahead and draw Mariel's out of the bag. Let's search. There we are. Gonna make these a little bit bigger. Alrighty, let's shuffle them up and draw my 3 patterns. So her patterns are kind of crazy. So you got a 2-2 with 3 in the middle. This one is 2 with 2 below it blank, and then it destroys the 3 above, and then 3 with the 3 below. All right, so she does things differently. She can't just move discs one space like most of the characters can. That's why I wanted to show you this one. And I think this one will be fun too because, all right, so 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, then 10, 10. Discard a pattern all the way down. So she's pretty straightforward. She just gets more and more intense as the game goes on. So let's see what the boss pattern is. Oh my goodness, look at that thing. All right, and what's the negative of it? You start the next round with 3 action points if you don't do it. Well, that's not an option. The good news is now I got all 7 action points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I know the intensity here says 8, but just as a reminder, you always start with 10 in your bag. And let's see what Mariel's special abilities are. So she moves a bullet as far as possible orthogonally until it hits a bullet or a sight edge. So she just moves it all the way until it hits something. The nice part is that includes up, if you'll see, for 1 action point. Pretty good. For 2, you can draw a pattern card. For 1, you can move Mariel to any empty space. So you can move yourself to any empty space. And remember, you count as a bullet. That includes for creating patterns. It also includes for blocking other bullets from moving around. And this is really cool and really powerful. For 1, she can clear any bullet orthogonally adjacent to herself. So yeah, if I get in a situation like last game where there's just a lot of stuff going on, then it'll be a lot easier to deal with. So we're going to start out this way. We're going to shuffle up. And actually, where do I want her to start? I'm going to look for patterns like this. I think that's a good spot for her. I mean, you can move her anywhere for 1 action, but certainly without knowing, without knowing what's going to be drawn, then, you know, you're in for just a guess at the beginning. Sound is all fixed now, Peter. Thanks, Sherry. And thanks for letting me know at the beginning. I got a new microphone, or I don't have a new microphone. Microphone's the same. I got a new webcam, and the webcam has a speaker on it. I'm like, oh, maybe the audio on it will be decent. Well, you heard the audio from my webcam. It's awful. So I tried to do a solution where I got an all-in-one solution. Didn't have to put the microphone up every time, but it's okay. Microphone's good. I'm glad to have it. And so, but I do have to be careful that it doesn't try to use the webcam's audio again. So thanks for catching that at the beginning. For those of you who are watching in the future, you will never know that was in there because I'm going to edit out all the beginning. We did a fresh start about 2 minutes in after I realized my audio was messed up. All right, but let's get started with this next round. So that's her pattern. See, Red Barrel doesn't have any special powers, so this is actually a good one to learn with, I think. I can't wait for Peter to see the other patterns. Oh, great. That's level 99 taunting me from the other end here. Alrighty. Let's just keep drawing. All right. I don't have anything so far that is causing me happiness or concern. But that tends to happen. Oop, there you go. There's a little bit of concern. Certainly if I draw blue 4 now, that's not good. But the good news is there's no like gotchas at the end with this boss. So I think this is like a little bit easier boss, it feels like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So we're starting to see some some stuff going on over here. So let's start looking to do some patterns if we can. If I move this one up and this one over, move myself and move this one down, I can clear all of those bullets. Now, I'd love to clear stars instead. And of course, the 2 stars would be part of the pattern in that situation, which isn't perfect. But that just leaves me the stars for later on. Let's think positively, right? Power positive thinking. All right, I'm going to do that. So for 1 action, I'm going to move this one up. For another action, I'm going to move this one here. Now, let's see where I can move myself to start working on. So I'm going to do this pattern here, where I can start working on one of these other patterns here. I'm going to maybe go here. So yeah, for 1 action, I'm going to move myself here. So that way I can bring this down and look to clear these 3 with this pattern here. Hopefully. You know, everything is is all good right now. All right, so I'm going to spend 1 to move this here. So now I've got this pattern exactly right here. And what's the negative here? Start the next round with 3 action points. That is awful. All right. But I'm going to clear these 3 because we only need 5 to break her shield. It's 10 for the last one, but only 5 for the first 2. So let's start working on that. Now, unfortunately, again, I didn't get any action points back from that. Now, it might have been smarter to move myself here, and then I could have spent 2 action points to break these 2. Yeah, we'll see if I end up regretting that. Although I don't want to break too much because, again, I don't want to start the next round with like 0 action points basically. Although I may have put myself in a situation where that is exactly what's going to happen. So I need 3 and 3. Yeah, I put myself in a bad spot with that. No more to draw. Oh, which pattern did I complete? I completed this one. All right. So if I do 1, 2. All right, well, let's do this. I'm definitely doing this. That's 1. Yeah, if I had moved myself here, if I'd been thinking ahead about this pattern, I could have set myself up to exactly get this by the end of the round. That would be cheating, though. And I don't want to be a cheater McCheaterson already. I don't want you guys to get a bad impression of me already. Although I feel like doing that. We'll get ready for this pattern on the next turn. So I'm going to move this one down for 1. And then I'm going to move this one up for 1. So now I do have this pattern. So I could, you know what? And I may actually oh, so close. So close. Because if I break this, or if I break this, all right, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to complete this pattern. I'm going to send 2 more to the middle. One of which is a star. She also has, when you break a star, you get an energy back. All right, Red level 99 still taunting me. Also says, Red Baron seems to be missing one of her patterns. She seems to only have 4 total. She should have 5. You are right. Where is that 5th pattern? Huh. You know what? Did I put 1 back? I think I did. That's exactly what happened. Here it is. So a little bit of a sneak peek. This will be next rounds. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Shrey says, yeah, it was not decent. I don't know what's not decent about it, but yeah, I made some tactical errors, I think, already in this round. But that's okay. We're going to see if we can work our way out of it. It's definitely not game breaking at this point. Because I can make this pattern pretty easily with a move there next turn. Of course, I only have so many moves next turn because of my incompetence. All right, so we'll go ahead and first things first, you refill your patterns. Then you get all your action points. Then you do the boss pattern, which is start the next round with 3 action points. Brutal. Brutal level 99. I don't like you for doing that to me. All right, then we're going to flip these over. By the way, I said they did it to me. They didn't do it to me. I clearly did that one to myself. We're going to look at their next pattern. All right, so boss activates their pattern, checks if we broke any shields. Oh, we did. By the way, should probably break their shield. Oh, I got to discard a pattern. Yes. This one doesn't seem likely. I mean, let's be honest, none of them seem likely right now. I'm going to go ahead and discard this pattern. Wait. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I am on the level here with my patterns. So let's get rid of this. I'm just going to delete that one. All right. So I had to discard one of my patterns for breaking one of their shields. And let's go into the next round having to do this and pull 10 bullets from the sender into your current. Oh, you're kidding me. All right, so if I don't do this, I got to get 10 extra bullets next round. But let's start with the 9 I've got. Well, hold on, let me shuffle. I don't think I shuffled. Every day I'm shuffling. 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see if I counted right. Boom. This is one thing I love about Tabletop Simulator is I always get an exercise in counting skills to see if I still know how to count. It's what I do to keep my brain fresh. This boss seems to be easier. Oh, Peter, if you only knew. Yeah, no, this is my first time playing through Red Barrel. I love the artwork, by the way. So let's see. Red Barrel, a pilot over here. This is the boss side. Let's see what her normal form looks like. This is her over here, Mark. So she is a pilot over here too, although she's sitting with a bomb over here. So she's actually in her plane showing off her piloting skills as the Red Barrel over here. Well, I don't like the boss pattern cards. I will tell you that. And it's not like I don't like them like it was bad design. I don't like them as in they're going to kill me, and I don't like that. I don't want to lose. Come on now. 2 red. Okay, so that goes there. 1 pink. All right, I can deal with a 1 pink. 4 yellow. Okay, I like yellow at this point in the game. Yep. 3 green. I thought that was going to make me happy, but it... Ooh. Maybe it will. All right. Okay. I see what's happening here. You're face to face with something and it's strange. All right. I'm starting to get scared over here. So what I think I'm going to do with my 3 action points, actually, this is pretty good. So for 1 action point, I'm going to move that down. For another action point, I'm going to move myself over here. Then, boom, boom, boom. Let's throw some bullets. So there's 3 sent right back at you. So that gets me 2 action points because 2 of those were stars, which makes me very happy. And then this pattern we'll see, but I got 3 action points, so I have almost more than what I have exactly what I started with this round, which makes me happy. Now, what doesn't make me happy is this stupid pattern here. So, level 99, I do have a question for you, actually. I assume I know the answer. Well, in this case, it's clear. But let's say, in this case, if this pattern was formed at the top, where the 3 was in the middle, I would never do it in this case, right? Obviously. But let's say these 3 tokens were here. I assume I couldn't complete this pattern because the 3 blasts, even though they're not required for the pattern, they still have to be in the pattern area. Is that correct? So let me know, because I'm curious about that one. I'm pretty sure, and again, this is a bad example. There's certainly better examples of stuff that's like off to the side, like this one here. Could I do this pattern if I had 6 on the top, 1 here? Could I do this pattern even though this top POW spot is not available? I think the answer is no, I can't, but that's the only rules question I had. All right, let's keep going. All right, I am out of them, so I do have some actions to spend here. Now I want to make this pattern, so watch this. 1 to move here. 1, I clear this bullet. 1, oh no. No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't even need to clear that bullet because I have that pattern right here. 1, 2, 1. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to do what us pandemic fans like to do, which is retroactively say when I was here, I cleared this bullet. So when I was here, I would have cleared this bullet before I moved, cleared this bullet, and that's my 3rd action. All right, so I would have cleared that before I moved. Level 99. So if you had Claymore's requirements on the top row, you can play it for no effect, since it clears would be off the board. So you can play it even if the clears are off the board. So literally this top pattern, again, for no effect, right? I could play this assuming I had these 3 at the top. So the clears do not have to be part of the board. Now there's another boss I had a question about. Let's get all these out of the way. So this one over here, where she can clear multiple things. She has 2 crosshairs and she can clear them multiple times. So let's get this question out of the way too. If I'm clearing 2 patterns, what if they're overlapping? Can I pick which one goes first? So for example, see, we're doing an FAQ. We're doing everything while we're here today. Let's say this was here, right? And we had this pattern. And it was like this. So there's an overlap in patterns here, right? Like, again, assuming there are bullets in all 3 of these spaces. I understand that I would clear all 3 bullets, right? But can I do that? Like, or is there an overlap in patterns? I guess from what you said earlier, there isn't an overlap in patterns. The one that's more complicated would be something like this. Let's say I had this pattern with... Sorry for pausing the game, everybody, but just trying to get some rules clarifications out of the way. Let's say I had this, right? And again, this isn't a problem for any other hero, but it says when placing bullets, your pattern's clear from every crosshair that meets the requirements. So if I cleared this, could I clear from this one first to clear the top two, then choose to clear from the bottom one, clearing these two, which then makes the top one no longer a legal pattern? Could I do that in any order I want with the two crosshair ones? So those are my questions. Can the patterns overlap for this one? Again, that is very hero specific, but it's a good question because, to be honest, she is one of my favorite heroes, and I love her ability to like use crosshairs to like clear multiple things at once and move the crosshairs around and create really cool patterns. But that was the one question I had with her. But back to our current game. Hello, I made the pattern. I did not think that was going to happen. I mean, in all honesty, and I broke a shield at the same time. So who knew that luck can shine on you every once in a while? So let's go ahead and draw my new patterns. Let's go ahead and get back to 7. That'll be a breath of fresh air. Actually having a full complement of actions to take this round. All right, we are going to be done with that boss pattern because forget that. But that's not the next step. The next step is boss checks to see if a shield is broken. Why, yes, it is, boss. And you're going to make me discard a pattern, aren't you? Of course you are. We're going to go ahead and flip this over. We're going to discard these. Let's make sure to shuffle these while I'm here and remembering it. Doom, doom, doom. And which pattern do I want to get rid of? Well, this one looks good. I feel like I could do that to clear this pretty easily. That one looks pretty good too. So this is the weird one, but I ironically almost have this one completed. But you know what? Getting rid of this one. I'm going to keep this one. That doesn't make sense, does it? I've already got this one basically done. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. We're going to switch it out. There we go. All right. Boom, boom, boom. They clear simultaneously for Senka. So you wouldn't order them. You just do them at the same time. So yes, you can overlap with the same pattern as long as you use it and you meet its requirements. Meet the requirements at the exact moment you use the pattern. You can't use the clears from one crosshairs to create the requirements for the other crosshairs. All right, so I couldn't have that one situation. I thought it was too good to be true, and that's why I didn't do it in my game yesterday, but I did want to clarify that. So cool. Yeah, she is one of the quote-unquote hard heroes, but I don't think any of these are hard. Actually, Mariel Martin is described as one of the harder heroes as well. It's just, you know, little questions here or there, wordings. I mean, with any of these games, you're going to have that, where wordings, you know, for certain things, it doesn't click with you at first. Look, I didn't understand you discard a pattern. It's very clear you discard a pattern means one of your patterns, but because there's another boss that discarded their patterns, I got completely confused. So that was on me. But bottom line is, with any of these games, if you're reading too fast, rushing, whatever else, you can definitely get, you know, get some rules questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I don't even have to count because I know it was 131, so it's down to 121. 10's an easy number. All right. Is there any pattern? I almost have this one, but I'm kind of blocking the way on this one. So what should I do? What should I do? I think I'm going to spend 1 to clear this one. I'm going to spend 1 more to move here. I'm going to spend 1 more to clear this one, which then I spend it, but then I get it back. I did have to have the 1 to spend. I don't just get a free energy for that. All right. So I'm trying to build this one up here if I can. And I mean, I could just throw these up, right? Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking the other way. My brain was working backwards, and now actually I cleared 1 from here. We'll see what happens. Let's draw some tokens. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, maybe we're not just going to draw some tokens. I could clear that by moving over here and just clear these 2. I mean, it almost feels like cheating to do that, but I'm doing it. 1, 2, 3. It's not cheating, by the way, because the end of the round, there is lots of stuff I won't be able to deal with. But 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that worked out for at least for now. 3 yellow. All right, level 99 is clarifying. Wait, in the situation you described, you would be able to do that because you met the. So, again, if we're looking at this pattern here, and I had those 6 spots full, and I don't know why I put those tokens back. You know what? We don't need them. We don't need. All right, so let me get 5 more. That's one great thing. They definitely give you enough bullets in the game to play, and no matter what your situation, you're not going to run out. All right, so if we were in this situation here, and again, they wouldn't be face down, they'd be face up, but just as an example, not to clarify things. Because it met both of the patterns right away, as I'm doing it, you can clear, and even though the patterns overlap, you can still do it. So you would clear those 4 in that situation. I think that's what I'm saying, what we're saying. Because you presented the situation, both crosshairs met the requirements at the same time of the pattern usage. So boom, you take a picture, they met it, and then boom, you clear all at the same time. Oh, I need to reveal a new pattern. You are right. Oh, I should probably know that. A bullet from the center hits you. All right, so that's 1 from the center. I mean, this is a huge line of stuff. I'm already getting that with red, and I can move stuff pretty easily. Yeah, sure, should be no problem, says the person who's about to die. Oh, that's a lot of red, but again, I need that full line. If I don't get it, it's 1 hit. See, here's the thing. This is where they trick you, right? Because getting hit for 1 isn't the end of the world. Making this pattern feels like I'm going to get hit for way more than 1 when I'm trying to make this pattern here. So I think this is like a trap. It's a trap! So you know what? If I spend 1 to go here, and then 1 to move this up, then I can clear this. I mean, I could clear it even without moving them. And actually, I don't need to clear the extra bullet. I mean, yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to move up here for 1. And yes, I know, I still got 5 to go. This is probably a terrible idea, but I'm going to complete this pattern. So completing this pattern, I get rid of 3. There's only 2 that I need to get rid of. Now, wait a minute. How did I get these 3 up? Were those carryovers from last turn? They couldn't have been. Oh, I went around blowing up stuff with my character. That's right. I was like, how did I get all of those? But yeah, no, I ended up blowing stuff up. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I could somehow get this pattern exactly and then blow 1 up with my boss, that would be good. The odds of that happening, not very likely. And now I didn't really do anything to clear red either. So all that talk about clearing red and about it being a trap, and I've fallen into the trap. That's 2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So basically any red but a 1 is bad. Yeah. So as you see, you can, all right, well, that's 1 hitting me. As you can see, you can put yourself in a bad spot here. That's another 1 hitting me. All right, well, at this point, there is no reason not to do this pattern. I do have 1 action point left. There's nothing else for me to do. I was kind of hoping to draw it lucky into this pattern. I didn't, but for 1 action, I'm going to move this over here and say good day. And at least I completed this one. So a bullet from the center doesn't hit me, but again, it was a trap because it made me build these long rows. It didn't make me. I made those choices. Let's be clear on this. But it feels like it made me. All right, so level 99 says, yeah, you got it right. You basically take a snapshot of the board, check to see if the crosshairs meet the patterns, then you clear all the patterns at the same time. Good to know, because that actually would have saved me last night. I didn't do that. I played it the harder way. Also, nice analysis, Peter. That pattern is explicitly designed to be kind of a trap. Yes. Oh, yeah. No, it's a trap. Yeah. No bueno. Because I basically took 2. Now, again, no fault of the games. That was my own choice to let these sit here, because I was going to clear this one, but I'm like, oh, but then I could get this pattern. Yeah, no, definitely a trap. All right, so that is the end of the round. I am going to go ahead and get all my action points back. I'm going to draw new patterns. I mean, at least I keep clearing the boss's stuff. Oh, there's a pattern that I kind of like-ish. All right, so I did meet the boss's pattern, so let's go ahead and draw the next one. I know I'm not supposed to do it yet, but all right, I don't like these patterns. I really don't like these patterns. These are some funky shapes. Not making me happy. I guess I shouldn't know that before I break theirs, in fact. So let's go ahead and shuffle this up. Sorry, because I do break theirs because I got the 5 I needed to. So I'm going to have to discard a pattern before I know what the boss's pattern is. So just to not completely cheat and look ahead. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right. So I got to get rid of a pattern. Well, these two have the same shape. And it's a shape I can't get, to be clear. I can get it. But it doesn't seem likely. I'm going to have to send 2 bullets this way, which is doable. Although this would let me clear out part of what I used to do this. All right, so these two seem to work together. The problem is right now, actually, now that I'm looking at it, the problem is that I need this to be red. Of course, the only thing that's not red in that pattern. Yeah. Still think I'm going to like these two together at some point. They seem like they would work pretty well. Because I can actually just start throwing these over here to clear this row. And then my red row is my only danger one. But I got a lot of red out of there. Now you can never be safe, right? With 121 more bullets. That's also part of the trap. Alright, I'm going to clear this pattern. Alright, let's start going. I need 11 bullets this time. So I want to clear yellow up so I don't have 2 extremely scary rows. So I'm going to spend 1 to move this one over. Because this is going to start helping me form this pattern and this pattern. I'm going to try to double clear here in a second. I mean, we'll see. I want to move this 3 over 2, but then that puts blue in danger. And I've had more yellow tokens out than blue this game, so I feel likely that I'm going to get more blue. And with that being said, that would have been a killer blue. Oh, so here you go. We're starting to get some stuff. We'll see how it ends up working out. Green, I like to see more green. Thank you. Blue, I don't mind. Don't love, but don't mind. Huh. You know what? For 2 action points, I'm just going to clear these 2 right now. Let's just, while I'm sitting here, it gives me a little bit, still not enough. Oh, now red's really, really making me not happy. So I could move that one over. Alright, so I'm going to do that. For 1 action, I'm going to move this over. For 1 action, I'm going to move myself here. Did I spend that action already? For 1 action, I'm going to move this one down. That's just going to let me clear myself, which isn't exactly what I wanted, obviously. Clear these 3. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to clear these 3. So 1, 2, and then I clear myself. When I clear myself, I'm actually going to move myself to... Do I stay where I am? Alright, so I did this pattern. Now I'm trying to get this one. I'm going to stay where I am. Alright, then for 1 action, I'm going to move this red to clear this row at least a little bit. And then hope to draw into some stuff here. 3 red. Oh, that's it. Ah, come on. That is a lot of red. That is a lot of red. And I could have started blasting red. 3 yellow. Do. Of course. Like, if these had come out in a different order. Oh, I could have spent 1 to move this up here. And that would have cleared with this pattern here. I would have cleared these 3. Yeah, so there was stuff I could have done about it. Actually, I should have done that. That would have been smarter. I would have done that. I would have cleared this, this, and myself. So I could have cleared myself to anywhere, and I had 2 stars. So I could have cleared myself to here just to get rid of more red. Getting 2 back. Boom, boom. Get rid of these 2. All right. And then this 3 would have come in and been here. So you know what? We're going to go back and do that. and I'm going to cheat, and boom. See, that's karma right there. That is direct karma for going back and trying to cheat. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was in a rough spot. I was definitely in a rough spot. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even draw a new pattern for this turn, by the way, for the boss. So that would have been not doable anyway with the way I was going. Moved all bullets down 3 spots. Oh, yeah, that would have cleared all 4 of these anyway. So as you can see, I showed you not how to play well, but I showed you how to play anyway. Yeah, these bosses are challenging, and that's the thing. Now, I assume what you could do, right? Because there's not ways to vary difficulty in the book. Really, the bosses are how you vary difficulty, and the different characters you use are ways to vary difficulty. But it'd be easy enough to just draw 1 less bullet from the bag for each of these. Start with 9 and draw 1 less if you want an easy game, or draw 1 more once you really meet the challenges of these bosses. So there are ways to vary the difficulty for sure. You're clearing bullets not only to take away their life, but also really to keep yourself clear as well. And so it's a neat thing. You're stuck between fighting for your own patterns, fighting to try to create the boss patterns, really deciding where you want to go and when, and just constantly fighting against this endless barrage of bullets. So I think a lot of people are going to I think a lot of people are going to love this game. I certainly do. It's a quick game to play too. You've seen in really an hour we've played 2 games, and that's with me explaining everything and me asking questions. Level 99 games. So I mean, it's a quick game. The components are beautiful. Like, especially, so there are 2 component upgrades. Number 1 is if you were in on the Kickstarter, you got these nice wooden discs, which are great. The tokens are fine, but if you join our Discord, there is something, I think we have a bullet subcategory on the Discord, or it might have been on one of Mike's videos about bullet, where he encourages, where he shows you where you can buy coin cases that will fit these tokens in and make them like a cool component upgrade if you want to do it yourself. It was like 200 coin cases for a fairly affordable price. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter and you don't have those nice wooden discs, you can upgrade your tokens as well. So join the Discord, ask us in there about it. I know Mike was talking about it, or listen to Podcast Sunday. Mike talks about where to get it on the podcast, or at least where the link is. I wasn't part of the original discussion, so I don't remember where it is off the top of my head. But the components are great. The boards are great. There's a lot of variety in the box. I mean, and for a very affordable price, you're getting a lot of variety. You're getting 8 bosses in the base one with 8 different characters. So every character is associated with a boss. You just flip the character over to get to the boss. So if you notice, we were pointing out earlier that Mark turned into this red barrel over here that we're fighting against. Well, the other one is here, and you'll notice Sora, she has 3 guns, and that's what we were fighting against, right? She had 3 guns on her boss pattern as well. So it's pretty neat how the game works. It's fairly straightforward. As you can see, most characters only have like 3 actions, and they're really easy to learn. And then you get maybe a 4th action. You might get something from getting stars, like this Sora over here gets 2 things. Not only does she get an energy, but she can swap 2 of her bullets in her sight. So 2 bullets if they were here and here. I wanted the blue one in the yellow row, the yellow one in the blue row. I could swap them to help make my patterns. So they do really neat things. Like, every character feels completely unique. And so those are kind of my final thoughts. If you want to hear more, we get really deep dive into it on the podcast on Sunday. So if you want to hear more about it, that's a great place to listen to it. But Level 99, thank you for making such a great game. And I will say, and I encourage this as well, I really like what you've done with Orange. And so for a nice little expansion, there's 4 characters added, which means you're adding 4 bosses. But I really like the variety that comes in that. There's certainly enough variety in the base box that you don't need anything extra. As you've seen just between these 2 characters here. Like, you use yourself on the board with this character. Another character is using targeting crosshairs on the board. A lot of characters, there are some that are just very straightforward. Let's see. Actually, the easiest way to do that is this. Esfer over here, she's very simple. She's for 1 action, move down, left or right. For 2 action points, move up 1. For 2, you can move as far down as you want. And that's literally it for her. And she has a hand size of 4. So she gets 4 pattern cards out at the same time. And her patterns are more basic, I feel like. So, it's a very good character to introduce. This is the one I always introduce people to the game with. So, but that doesn't mean she's boring to play. You got a character here, the vampiress. At least she looks like a vampire to me. I don't think that was what they were going for. Maybe it was, but she kind of looks like a vampire to me. But yeah, she can move bullets diagonally, and she flips her bullets over. Whenever she gets a star, she not only gets an energy, but she gets to flip one over. What does that mean? Face down bullets in your sight are all colors and have no numbers at all. So they really help you get color patterns like this one, where you need a yellow between two others and this pattern underneath it. She'll help you get those patterns, but if you have patterns with numbers in, she's terrible at it because she's flipping these tokens over and now the numbers don't help her out anymore. But it's really good against that last boss we were talking about, right? Where when you clear a 4 bullet, you put it in the center instead rather than putting it here. So you can flip over the 4s to get around that pattern. Or her final life, remember, that was giving us trouble. All 4 bullets hit you. Well, if they're all flipped over, well, then they can't hit you. So certain characters definitely work better against certain bosses, but I think it's fun to just explore the different combinations. If you're somebody like me who likes different combinations of bosses and players and seeing how your character abilities interact with the bosses, I think it's great for that. So that's kind of my mini review here, but definitely listen to our full review on the podcast. And we have a co-op play from earlier, right when the Kickstarter was going on, of just the orange stuff. So yeah, check that out as well. Level 99, let's see. We also plan on making wooden bullets available again when the next bullet expansion comes out. So that's good to know as well. So if you don't want to, look, the tokens are fine. They're perfectly fine for playing with. But you know as well as I do, when you really like a game, and again, I haven't noticed any wear or tear on them, anything else. They're sitting in their bag. They're, clinking against each other. No problems with the tokens. But you know as well as I do, if you really like a game, and especially a game like this where it's very tactical, or not tactical, it is very tactical, but it's also very tactile, you want to get that nice feel. And those wooden bullets are great. Again, so wait for the next Kickstarter to get the wooden bullets. Between now and then, you can get the coin cases to make the tokens feel a little bit nicer when you're pulling them out of the bag. And you can have both. So that way you have, because there's enough characters in here when you have friends over, there's no reason not to have 2 games of 4 going. When you get all the expansions, it's easy enough. The only thing you need more of really is bullets. So if you bought those cases, you could have the tokens with the cases, and you can have the wooden bullets as well. So, yeah, but it's good to know that they are going to become available again. It was fun to watch. I think you're not wrong, Peter. People are always free to house rule to make games more fun for them. Yeah, if you're having it, you should never be frustrated with a game, right? And I'm not frustrated with this game at all. I like the challenge of it. But if you are finding it frustrating because you are unable to beat some of these bosses and you want to experience, like, some of the fun of the game is going against the different bosses, feel free to house rule. I'm a designer. I love when people house rule our games. We house rule our own games sometimes and, post the stuff to BGG. So you guys, we've made rules variants for a game that made it in the actual next printing of the rules. So I think that's good. I think games are there to be enjoyed. I think this game, all the fundamentals are here, but I think, if you want to vary the difficulty, unfortunately, there's no way to do it in the book except for take easier and harder bosses, but it's easy enough to just draw less bullets each round, right? It may swing it too hard, but then, figure out where the happy medium is. Maybe every other round you do it or something like that. So you can figure it out for yourself how to add and subtract difficulty. I think the difficulty is a little on the hard side out of the box, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think people want a challenge in these games. I think it's a little bit easier with co-op because you have these co-op actions. And again, you can watch our playthrough to see what they are. But basically, for one action, you can choose one of your discs and give it to someone else. And it goes on their board exactly in the spot. So you know exactly what you're giving somebody. They can give you the discs that are giving them problems. You can give them discs that are giving you problems. You can help them complete patterns. Oh, I need a disc right here. Do you have a 2 pink? Just so happens I don't, but I can send 2 1s over to you, right? So I spend 2 action points to do that. So that's a cool pattern or thing you can do in co-op to make it more co-op-y, which I think makes it a little bit easier as well. And then you can spend 2 and your teammate moves a bullet orthogonally 1 space. So again, for 2, if I need this 1 over here, I could spend 2 to move your bullet 1 space on your board. And then you could spend 2, I think there's the third action, you could spend 2 and your teammate gets to draw a new pattern. So if they don't have action points and you have extra, you can help them, get more patterns or give them bullets or help move their bullets. So I think the co-op really works well as well. So yeah, no, I mean, you could tell I'm kind of glowing about the game, having a lot of fun with it, have fun every time I've played it. But yeah, I think you should at least check it out. Level 99 was generous enough to make a free TTS mod for it. So check it out. It's free to check out. The rules are right here. The rules are very clearly written as well, and there's not that many of them. So I was actually surprised with how little rules, how easy it was for me to understand the game. I mean, that's the end of the rules, really. So you then have to go to boss battle, but that's fairly straightforward as well. So really easy. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. Level 99 says the power of friendship makes bosses a bit easier. Yes, that's true. Although they do compensate for that with some of the bosses, I've noticed, because like it might be 6. Well, this one's an even climb up, but some of the bosses are not. It'll be like 5. Oh, did this change? Oh no, here's one. So it's 10, then 22, because double would obviously be 20, then 33, then 44. So I did notice with some of the bosses, it scales for a number of players. I thought it was more than just the first one. All right, maybe I am crazy, or maybe you guys revised some stuff from the printing I have. But yeah, either way, co-op makes it a little bit easier, but I think that's a good thing. It's a great puzzle multiplayer as well. I think it's a little overwhelming your first game to do multiplayer. So a lot of times what I'll do is I actually use this to cover this action when I first teach the game, because it's very rare you're going to draw more pattern cards, at least for me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But 2 action points seems like a lot to draw one. So I typically will cover these up, and then somebody might say, oh, I got 2 action points. What should I do with it? It's like, well, you could draw, or, oh, I wish I had another pattern. I completed all mine. What can I do? Well, then I'll open them up and explain it halfway through. But typically when I explain the game, I don't explain the drawing more patterns part of it. I just keep it this way. I say, hey, for 1, you can send me 1. For 2, you can move 1 of mine if I need help. And then you can do your own patterns, right? There's not that much options, but tactically it's very rich. Let's see. Level 99 says, thanks for enjoying the game. We literally couldn't be making games if the fans didn't enjoy them. Well, that's right. And this one's great. I really do think so. I think the price point's right. I think the complexity's right. I think you got a lot right with this one. So thanks for doing it. And with all that being said, thanks for hanging in there with me today, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow night. We're doing Marvel Champions tomorrow night. We're doing Star-Lord and Gamora. So that'll be fun. And then Saturday night, we're doing Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion with Mike and Jerry. So tomorrow night, it's me and Terrence. Saturday night, it's Mike and Jerry. And who knows, we might do a bonus one this weekend because it is Memorial Day weekend. So we'll see. Maybe we'll even get another stream in before the end of the weekend. Yeah, but thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon. Bye.